This is either going to go terribly wrong or I will look like an absolute freaking genius when we're done. If you've been around this channel for any minute, I've been trying to tell everybody that, listen, your phone is an incredible tool for shooting content. See this phone right here? This is a 15 Pro Max. Currently, I am recording this on an iPhone 16 Pro Max. I am simultaneously screen recording what I'm going to talk to you about today, and I'm going to try to put it together and make it look smooth. Or make it look really stupid. You're going to find out by sticking around. Welcome to Nice to Know, Nice to Have November. This is a series where I talk to you about the things I wish I knew or I wish I had when I first started my content creation journey. Now, the iPhone in this particular case, or any type of phone, is an incredible content device for capturing because you already have one and you start with what you have, figure it out, and then sort of improve a little bit at a time. The one caveat to doing content creation on your phone is it often can have really rough audio. Sometimes it's usable, sometimes it's not, but I'm going to show you how to fix it for free. Well, mostly free. And this is something that anybody can do, and I highly suggest you try it out. This I have been using for more than 10 years, and you talk to any of the OG podcasters, they will tell you that this is the answer. What am I talking about? I am talking about Auphonic.com. That's Auphonic.com. And of course, I'll put the link in the description below. Now, Auphonic, in a nutshell, is an AI, long before this other AI stuff got popular. This guy's been around. It is an AI sound engineering for your audio recordings. So some of the stuff that Auphonic can do is it can do EQ. It can do some audio filtering if you have any weird frequencies in your voice. A key element of it is what's known as an intelligent leveler, because as you know, sometimes I get excited and sometimes I kind of got to gather my thoughts and my voice goes down. Well, it kind of evens that out. So there isn't too much craziness between your really, really loud parts and your really, really soft parts. It can even them out. I never talk like this. Anyway, so you have the intelligent leveler there. You have some noise reduction if you happen to be outside and it's a little windy, or there's that room noise because you have a light fan or my capture card fan or something. It takes that stuff out. You guys never hear it, even though it's in the office. And that's why, even if I stop speaking, that thing still does what it does, right? That's a spectrum analyzer. It still does that because there's random room noises here. You just never hear it in the audio files of my videos because I run them through Auphonic. Let's see what else it can do. It can do speech, transcription. It could even create automatic show notes if you're doing it for a podcast. But the two things that I use it for the most would be its loudness specification, which means when I want to send a video to YouTube, YouTube wants to use something known as -14 LUFS, or loudness under full scale, and that's way too nerdy, so we're going to skip that. But it's what allows all your audio on YouTube to sound of a certain clip. Now, you know it's really trash, and I have one of my favorite sports networks. I'm watching a story, and they're talking about my beloved Manchester United, and the audio is perfect because I'm in the kitchen. I'm doing something. And then the next story, same exact TV show, but a different intern put that clip together and the audio is really low. Why? That person isn't running it through an adaptive leveler like Auphonic. So no matter whether you recorded the voice soft or you recorded the voice high, if you run it through Auphonic and then use that track for your video or for your podcast, you're always going to get that good, perfect level. You can set it for things like podcasting, certain TV networks. It's all in there. It's very easy to do it. I'm going to show you right now. We're going to pop over and I'll let you see what it does. So one of the other things it does, which is really handy, is it puts metadata on your files, which is great for podcasts. So I use this as my podcast uploader. That's a whole different video, but we're going to do this and I'm going to show you how simple this is. Okay, so let me jump over to the screen right now. And again, it's auphonic.com. That's AUP. He can't spell. AUPHONIC.com. Link in the description. So we're going to go over here to productions after you log in. Of course, I'm already logged in. And then you can just simply drag an audio file and place it on here. It's going to give you a bunch of options: voice cleaner and just keep the music, voice cleaner, remove the music, voice cleaner, remove the breathing. So if you're like me and you always, it can help take some of that stuff out. Adaptive leveler and keep the noise. Automatic chapter summary and transcript. Cut filler words. And I have some presets that I've already built. I tend to use a preset that I built called Dialogue Boost, but I'm going to leave it alone for now because I want to show you how I set it. So that way it makes a little bit more sense. Again, you can just pick one of these and it'll be good, but I'll show you how I set it. So let me go ahead and press upload and edit. And it's going to take a second to quickly upload this file. The file I'm currently uploading is from the video yesterday. I do want to point out something related. I want you to notice that I name my files what the video is about. And the reason why I name my files what the video is about is that is actually part of the metadata. This comes up in search when it comes up in search. And in this particular case, this sound file will have never made it to the internet, but it was attached to the video. But my video file is named this, well, minus the word fix. Let's give this a second to finish the upload and use the magic of the internet to go ahead and chop it off after. Now, Auphonic, let's get into pricing while it's doing this real quick. The pricing on Auphonic is as follows. You get 2 hours for free monthly, and then you also can pay for what's known as buckets. So you can buy these one-time credits and you just fill up however many hours you want. So I normally buy like 50 to 100 hour buckets and just, take time to process through that. So, 50 hours is $88. Or you can pay monthly if it's something that you're going to use a lot because you're producing heavy content. Me, for years and years and years, I've always just purchased this bucket, and I believe they still give you the 2 hours even if you did this. So you technically get that 2 hours for free, plus you dig from this bucket. So that's what I've been doing forever. Now, I'm going to go here without selecting a preset. My file is already there. Real quick reminder, you can pull in files that are already on the web if they're somewhere, and you can pull in files from a Dropbox or a Google Drive if you have those things set up. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to skip over the metadata stuff because that's for when I'm doing podcasting, but we're just talking about YouTube today, so I'm going to close those guys. Now, for my output file, I want to keep this as a 24-bit wave because I'm going to put this file into Final Cut. And then, in this case, I would say AUPHONICTUTORIAL, right? Just go ahead and put that in. And you guys know I can't type, so that's as much as we're going to do. So now I'm going to have my speech service. I'm going to use the Whisper speech service, which is the standard one that everybody's using for all your AI. So my output files are going to be the WAV file that will now be fixed, a subtitle file, which I upload to YouTube, and that's a whole different video, but we'll talk about that. And a transcript I don't really need, but I just keep it anyway. And a speech JSON file that I can use if I was doing some other type of audio chapter processing. We don't need to worry about that. And if I wanted to, again, if this was podcasting, I could stick on automatic show notes and chapters. If there's more than one person, I could put on the speaker detector. In this particular case, I'm just going to put my name. I'm the only speaker. But let's get into the real magic. So here's my adaptive leveler. I wanted to do 100% leveling, and I wanted to do auto compressor. Now, some people, compression on your voice sounds really, really terrible. So you're just going to have to try different ones and see what sounds good for you. I normally let it figure it out. My voice doesn't need much compressing, and it has done a fantastic job of not messing that up. Over here on the different levels, you can say, I need to separate music and speech parameters. If I know that I have music underneath my voice, in this case I don't, or I could go into broadcast mode, which would give me some loudness ranges and things. In this particular case, I'm going to leave it at default. For my filtering, instead of doing high pass filter, I got bass in my voice. I like it to be that way. I'm going to just use auto voice EQ. I think that is the best for most people. And then my loudness target, it says podcast and mobile. This is YouTube. YouTube actually can go to -14, but I like to do -16 because it just works great with my voice. I'm going to do automatic peaking. I'm not going to do dual mono. In this case, I'm going to do dialogue loudness because I am more worried about the voice being clear so you can understand these instructions and not be as irritated by my stupid voice. So under noise reduction, I don't really need to do much in this case because my room is fine, but you can say remove constant noises. So if you had a fan, that's what you would select. Dynamic would mean it would find noises here and there and take those out. And then you could do speech isolation where it would just keep your voice, remove everything else. I don't really have any weird noises going on here, so I'll leave this at the default dynamic for now. But what you can do is adjust how strong that is, so that if it's sometimes when you remove the noise too much, the audio sounds robotic. So you can adjust that accordingly after you hear your files. And I'm going to take the remove breathings and set it to about 24, because I don't want you to think that I'm a robot, but I do realize I breathe rather loud. Okay, so let me go ahead and leave that at 24 dB. I'm not going to do automatic cutting. That would remove the silences. If I was, say, making something for a short video, I might do that, remove cutting. As you hover over these, I want you to notice at the very bottom in the yellow, it does give an explanation, and you can click those little icons down there to take you to pages to read more. I'm just going to press on start production right now and hit this button. At this moment in time, it's going to upload the file. It went really quick for me because I did this file yesterday to make yesterday's video, so it's already on the server and it knows that. And so now it's going to process the audio. This tends to happen really quickly, but you do know that certain days for podcasting, more episodes come out, so it might be slower on a Monday or a Thursday. Don't know why. That's just random. Sometimes it makes a big deal. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, we're going to let the magic of the internet happen right here.
A few moments later.
Currently, it is in the encoding phase. This is where it's calculating. Now it's doing the speech recognition. While the speech rec is happening, I could go ahead and download this file, and it'll give me the speech files after. And then I can go ahead and start editing. Now, what's going to happen with the speech recognition files is I take those and I upload those to YouTube in the section of YouTube that says, would you like to upload a subtitle? And it's perfectly timed out. The timestamps are there in the whole 9 yards. So that is what I use. In that case, I bring down the VTT file. And sometimes I leave it VTT for certain applications. Some applications won't understand VTT, but normally if you just change the extension to TXT, like a regular text file, it works, because that's basically what it is. And if you want to get more stats on your speaking and see how you are, check out the HTML file. But you can see here, in this particular case, my audio is pretty solid. I am going to overlay this section with the output of this video that we're recording on the phone right now, so you can see how it's been able to adjust the phone. Back here, you can see I've already edited the video, but I thought it might help you if I showed you how I send the file to Auphonic. So basically, I'm in Final Cut. I'm going to go up to the share and export file. Export file is going to get me here, and under settings, I just want to make sure that I have it on audio only, and I like to send it a wave and just go ahead and hit next. So it's going to want to name this file, and then I'm going to hit enter and let it bring that file over for me. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be able to get my file. So I'm going to drag that file in from the desktop and start the process all over, which you've already seen. But yeah, that's basically how that works. And now what I'm going to do is play you the raw phone sound, which you're hearing, and then you're going to hear the sound of the phone after Auphonic has got a hold of it. So this is after Auphonic has processed the sound and made it sound quicker. Now, throughout the video, what I'll do is I'll put a little indicator in the video, so if you go back and watch it again, you can see when I was using the Auphonic sound versus the original sound of the phone. And so more than likely, because I don't like the way the phone sounds regularly, I would have switched it more than halfway through, but I'll toggle these on and off so you can hear. This will be the sound as it's processed by the phone itself, and we'll have a little conversation about that. And then I'll switch over to the sound of when Auphonic sound is working, and now you can hear what that sounds like. And you just see Auphonic is really, really good. And again, when you're just starting out, you could use it absolutely free. When you decide to go in, I highly suggest, until you get the hang of it and figure out what you're doing, just buy a small bucket of minutes. And if you realize this is a tool as valuable to you as it is for me, then you can either do monthly or do what I do and just buy a big old bucket. And when I run out, I just fill it up. It's incredible. I've been using Auphonic again for over a decade. All the OG podcasters have been using Auphonic. Now, I must point out, I would be remiss if I didn't point out, Adobe has a very similar tool that can be reached at podcast.adobe.com. I don't think it, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it's not as good as Auphonic, but it is absolutely free. So you just come over here and you go to the enhanced speech situation and you just drag your file on there and let it do its thing. It has been getting some improvements lately, so you can check that out. It won't have as many settings to set, which is maybe that's why I think it isn't as good. I just feel that Auphonic sounds better, but you can use Adobe Podcast for free. It's podcast.adobe.com. And I hope now this video was not as bad as I thought it was. I hope this experiment worked. And I hope you realize that you can just grab your phone and use Auphonic or podcast.adobe.com to smooth the sound out. And your mic sounds nice. Check one. This has been another video in my Nice to Know, Nice to Have November series. And I just want to show you the things I wish I knew and I wish I had when I started my content creation journey. And this video is sponsored by Doc Pops. That's these incredible little microphone covers that I make, and you can find out more about those in the description. I also have a little YouTube shopping shelf. You can just press a button, jump over to the site, which will take you to docmerch.com or docpops.com, and you will just have yourself a good old Christmas. Right now, I'm going to put up another video I think you should watch. Go ahead and check it out.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet.